Ashland, Kentucky, May 23rd, 2019. Along the fringes of Kentucky sits a mall that was actually built around the same time as KYOVA Mall, just down the road. This is the Ashland Town Center, the mall that lived. Well, it's a small world, as Ashland Town Center began its life in 1988 as a joint venture between Glimcher Realty, Eddie DeBartolo, and Crown American. After planning and construction, the mall would open its doors in 1989 with Walmart, JCPenney, and Hess's. As a fourth anchor, Goodies would also come to the mall. It is particularly interesting to see this mall was constructed so late in the game, as it went up around the same time as KYOVA Mall. Hess's would be short-lived, and would sell its Ashland location, along with a multitude of other stores, to Profits in 1993. And, in turn, Belk would come to take over Profits in 2006. Besides this, Ashland Town Center didn't see much in the way of change until the mid-2000s. Around 2005, Walmart would see it fit to move away from the mall in search of a larger space to operate in. This would be concerning, but JCPenney would have a plan. In 2008, the former Walmart building was demolished, and in its place would go up a shiny new JCPenney building. One of 3 prototype stores built that year, to be precise. As a side note, this would be the largest department store in Kentucky. Or so it's rumored. Things can change. Sure, JCPenney was just moving as opposed to filling the void. But the vacancy JCPenney left behind would be addressed as well, as Belk would choose to operate a secondary store in the old space starting 2009. The space would be home to Belk's Men and Home division. While all this was happening, the mall itself would see renovations, shrinking the food court down for more retail space, and updating the bathrooms in the mall. Following 2010, while KYOVA Mall was dying in the shadows, Ashland Town Center was still holding its own as the favorite mall of the two. Ashland Town Center would replace its Goodies with a TJ Maxx, and even attract the likes of Rax, Panera Bread, and the Children's Place into its halls. Before, it happened, the mall was holding full occupancy with TJ Maxx, the 2 Belk stores, and the giant JCPenney. As things slowly begin to reopen, I trust Ashland Town Center would be able to get right back on track and serve the good people of the region once more. Seeing that this was a collaboratory between Eddie DeBartolo, Glimcher Realty, and Crown American, I wanted to see if I could find any photos of the mall before renovations. This renovation, although necessary to update the mall's image, just feels like an inherent downgrade to my opinion. Nothing but kiosks cluttering the way now. You can only see some flare up in the ceilings nowadays. The short version, I am not a fan of what was done to this mall architecturally. It is interesting to note JCPenney's prototype store, though. I didn't record, but I took a quick walk in there, and yes, that building is huge. Perhaps it's no longer the biggest department store in Kentucky, but it takes me back a little bit to the days of when I was just a little kid at Kmart, and how Kmart went on and on and on, seemingly forever. You just don't really get that sensation anymore with stores nowadays. Or at least I don't. The closest I've gotten to that beyond this JCPenney was a massive grocery store near Cincinnati, which you may or may not see my take on in the future. So, who owns the mall today? Well, today it's Washington Prime Group. I am unsure of any changes that may have happened between its original joint venture between DeBartolo, Crown American, and Glimcher Realty, but it is possible that ownership changes were minor, seeing as Washington Prime did acquire Glimcher Realty at one point. As for the future of this mall, I would hope that it keeps on trucking, but thanks to, that prediction is murky at best, and completely false at the worst. I would hope that damage is minor as we begin to reopen things going into May 2020. Those of you watching this in the future, this is in regards of the great pandemic of 2020. This is another one of those malls where not much of interest happened. No stories to tell, and it's admittedly it's a somewhat boring mall. But it was holding up rather well during my visit there. And with that in mind, it is just about time for us to wrap up and head on out. I do hope you enjoyed touring the mall with me. Do like the video and share some thoughts down below in the comments. And of course, share the video if you think others should see it. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, and I invite you to subscribe. Ring the bell if you want to stay up to date with the next visit that comes up. I'll see you then. Additionally, I can be found at Minds, Facebook, BitChute, and if you wish to donate, you can do so at Ko-fi. Overall, I am most active here on YouTube with community updates and the occasional poll, and I do hope to get back into Urbex and maybe general retail soon. Maybe I could even start doing live streams. Overall, I do have a few ideas to keep you, the viewer, entertained. Well guys, until next time, this is Doomie Grunt, wishing you, in the Ashland Town Center, farewell and good luck.